Okay, I wanted to do a what I eat in a day situation, and every time I think about it, I wake up looking like trash. And I always have my protein shake before I actually get ready for the day, but today my hair still looks decent from yesterday, and I have a bra on, so I figured why not? So the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is drink a bottle of water. I don't drink a cold bottle of water because it kind of messes with my stomach. So I grab just a bottle of water from the pack and I drink it. And then I take my drinks for the day and I put them in the fridge. It's just like a ritual I do every morning. And after I'm done my bottle of water, I wait a little bit. If I'm really hungry, then pretty soon after I drink the water, I start making my protein shake. So I figured I'd show you how I make my protein shake. This is my first meal for the day. My stomach still can't handle 60 to 90 grams of protein due to like just food. So I still drink one protein shake every morning. So you know my Alohas, I have my little ball in there. Can you see it? I pour in just a little so you have your ball still. You can still see the ball. And then I use my PB Fit. This adds, so this is 20 grams of protein and this is 8 grams of protein. Yeah, so I add 2 scoops of this because that's the serving size. And when you put, so this PB Fit is really annoying. I love it, but it's really annoying. It gets really clumpy. So you have to add a barrier before you add it to your shake. You have to add that little bit of liquid because if you don't, it will, excuse me, I have air stuck. If you don't put that little bit of liquid, then it'll stick all to the bottom and it'll be such a pain to try to shake it up. So I pour the rest in, okay? Gotta close my shaker bottle lid. And then I just shake like crazy. Okay. Somehow I have peanut butter powder on my shoulder. Don't ask me how. Okay, so after this is shook up, I take a fork and I scoop out that little shaker ball, and then I add 4 to 5 pieces of ice and I put it in the freezer for like 10 to 15 minutes. I feel like after you shake it up, it's not as like cool. So I usually do this over the sink, but I'm doing this right here. So I just do that. And then I add some ice cubes, put the lid back on and put it in the freezer for a few minutes. And then once the bubbles have settled, I start drinking it. But the ice cubes, because I can only drink like cold protein shakes, so the ice cubes keep it cold as I drink it for like the 45 minutes that I devote to drinking that. So that's what I'm having for breakfast. Okay, so I'm making my first meal of the day, and that is 2 ounces of chicken. Whoops. 2 ounces of chicken, and I'm going to add, mind you, I'm living out of boxes right now, so all of my Tupperware, all of my glass bowls and everything are all packed away because I thought that I was moving 2 months ago. So I have some veggies that I sauteed. This is sweet peppers and onions and some zucchini, and then I have some spinach artichoke dip. I'm just gonna take a scoop of this and add it, and a little bit of that and add it. And that'll be my first meal of the day. I make my chicken in the air fryer, and if you guys want to see how I do that once a week, and I use it for the rest of the week. So yeah, that's my first meal. I'll show you when it's all done. Here it is. It doesn't look very appetizing to some people, but it's so delicious. I add the spinach and artichoke dip to help soften the meat, and I make sure I put something over it, like a small plate to keep the moisture in. It's really, really good. I'm so happy that I get to now have veggies in my diet, because when you first start, you focus on protein first. Your first goal is always protein. And then when you have a little bit more stomach room and you're meeting your protein goals, you can start introducing veggies and things like that. So this is my first meal, and it's gonna take me a while to eat, probably around a half an hour, 35 minutes. So I will nuke it multiple times in between then, because it'll get cold. So yep, there it is. It's really delicious. That's my first meal. So it's been an hour since I had my first meal, and now I'm starting to drink Gatorade Zero. This is 28 ounces. I'm going to drink all of this before I have my next meal. I usually space my meals about 3 hours apart. So Hello. So it's time for me to make my lunch. I am cooking some smoked sausage, and I'm also going to have some of my vegetables that I have to eat up. I have to have 2 ounces of this, and that'll equal 10 grams of protein. My 2 ounces of chicken was 17 grams of protein. So right now, after I eat this, I'll be at 27 grams of protein for meat consumption and 28 grams of protein for my protein shake. So I'll show you guys when this is all done. I'm just gonna cut it up and put it in the air fryer for like 10 minutes. Okay, so I measured out a little over 2 ounces, and I warmed up my sauteed veggies, and I added some no sugar added barbecue sauce and sugar-free Asian sauce. And I'm just going to add those in there and give it a mix, and that will be my lunch, okay? Yum, it's actually really good, so. Okay, this is dinner. This is chicken layered with cheese, layered with cream of chicken and cream of mushroom soup, layered with a pack of chicken stuffing, and I baked in the oven. This is what my husband's having. I'm going to weigh out some chicken. They're gonna have like a whole meal, like a whole setup, and I'm just gonna have some of the chicken. I might have a little bit of the stuffing too. I usually don't have any type of bread or any type of carbs like that with my meals, but this is what I made for them. And so I'm going to have a little bit of the chicken from this because I used my chicken that I took out for their food. So I have chicken defrosting now that, sorry, that's a microwave. I have chicken defrosting now that I'll use for tomorrow for meal prep. This is measuring around 3.5 ounces. I did measure the chicken by itself, but it still is coated in sauce, and sauce really does affect the weight. That's why I always don't add sauce until after I've already warmed up my chicken. I measure it and then I warm it up with a sauce. Sorry, my kids are having fun eating dinner. So that's what I'm having for dinner. Guys, I've been trying to do an outro for like forever. Okay, so last night my last meal was my chicken and stuffing. I was a little nervous about it because I usually don't add carbs to my life. Usually just the carbs that are in my protein shake. So I went to church and I was gone for about 4.5 to 5 hours and not eating anything. I was really hungry. I packed a Slim Jim because a big Slim Jim is 6 grams of protein, and they tell you if you are going to snack, like if you're hungry, to eat protein. That's why you keep not staying full, because you're not eating enough protein. So my first meal, I had 17 grams of protein. My second meal, I had 10 grams of protein. And my third meal, I had 17 grams of protein, plus the 6 grams of protein in the Slim Jim that I ate on the way home. I think I'm getting sick because my kids are sick. I've been up since 4 a.m. So that's why now I'd look like this even if I wasn't up at 4 a.m. So with all of those combined, sorry, I hit my phone. I topped out at 78 grams of protein. Now they say after surgery, you should be getting 60 to 90 grams of protein a day. 90 grams of protein is a lot, and I usually don't have the stomach room to consume all of that. And my protein shakes are really expensive, so I really try to limit them to 1 a day. So with my protein shake from yesterday mixed with my peanut butter powder and then my 3 meals and my snack at night on the way home, I topped out at 78 grams of protein, which I think is pretty good. I try to keep it between 70 and 75 grams. Sometimes I get just below 70. Sometimes I get almost 80. But I like to keep it between 70 and 75 grams of protein a day. With my water, I forgot to tape every time I had a water. I have 3 bottles of water a day, and I either have 2 small Gatorade Zeros, which are 12 ounces each, which equal 24 ounces. Sorry, my kid's sick and he's having a hard time. You want me to open that for you? Yeah. Hold on one second. So I didn't tape my water, and usually I have them in between meals. I have 3 bottles of water a day, and then I have either 2 small bottles of Gatorade Zero or 1 big 28-ounce bottle. Yesterday I had a 28-ounce bottle, and I usually equal around 75 to 78 ounces of water or clear liquid a day. So yeah, I just find that keeping it in a really big jug doesn't help me. I like having small goals, which means this bottle of water right here is going to be my first goal of the day. And that's going to be, once I finish that, I can move on to my next step, which is a protein shake. Once I'm finished my protein shake, I can move on to my next step, which is usually eating my first meal. After I'm done that, I usually have to wait at least an hour before I can start drinking more water. And that's when my next goal comes, and that's to get my Gatorade in. So yeah, I usually top off around 75 ounces to 78 ounces of water a day. And that's just how it works for me. I know other people who work, having a big bottle and having like the little like notches on it that like say like keep going, like all that, like that might help, that might work for you. It's all about finding what works for you. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I don't know how people who work full-time can handle this diet. It's like, whew. I definitely suggest meal prepping. Meal prepping doesn't work for me. I meat prep, that way I can kind of decide what I want with my meat, but I don't individually put them in containers, because then I feel like I'm just waiting for my next meal. And it feels very much like dieting opposed to lifestyle. So that's why I don't do that, because I would get bored of that really quickly. So I hope this was helpful. I love you all. God bless. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I know it's only Thursday, but we pushing through to Friday. All right. Bye, y'all.